How's it going, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about how much I spent total on my 2018 Mustang GT that put down about 1100 horsepower before it completely shattered the block. As you guys can maybe tell right here, we are currently rebuilding the engine. This is just a stock engine out of a F-150. I think I paid $1,300 all in for the entire package. We picked up a on-through performance twin turbo kit that we are also installing on the car. We're completely switching it up from its previous version. I guess I can call it version 2 or version 1 of the car, where we had a D1X Pro Charger on there making 19 pounds of boost. But anyways, I'm going to be talking about basically what I had in that setup of the car, and then also talking about how much I've spent total to get this thing to a twin turbo absolute street monster. Just before I go on with the next video, obviously excuse the mess. The garage is super messy. We have a bunch of parts laying around. I mean, pretty much the entire front half of the car is sitting on a bunch of ping pong tables. But we got the on-through performance twin turbo kit right here. These are looking absolutely crazy. I do want to paint these red, and actually this color red, the Ford Ruby red. If you guys can tell, also right here we have a bunch of stuff to paint. I am going to try painting myself. This is going to be another video, but we have some GT350 front fenders that we're going to be painting Ford Ruby red. We got the paint right over there. This thing was like $230 for just these two little cans, and it's going to look like this and match the ones that we have already on the car but are broken. On the previous setup on the car, let's talk about what we had done to the engine. Nothing at all. We had absolutely nothing done except, you guys can maybe tell right here, this is a set of oil pump gears. We got the billet MMR oil pump gears. We did do those because, you know, redlining, all that vibration, those tend to break. The stock ones tend to break, and obviously no oil pressure would destroy your engine. My engine was destroyed with too much power. If you guys are curious, I could talk about that more later, but engine-wise, we had pretty much nothing done except oil pump gears. And this is that new F-150 motor. You can see we got the brand new oil pump and the billet oil pump gears, and then a billet crank sprocket right here. Obviously we have to finish some of the timing components, but other than that, everything else is completely stock, including the valves. These were redone. These were the old valves on the motor that was blown. We got those completely refreshed, but everything motor-wise is completely stock except the billet oil pump gears for the Coyote to make close to 1100 wheel horsepower. And if you're making all that power, get ready to rebuild your motor, because that is these are the old pistons in there. There was a lot of wear and tear, but we snapped 2 connecting rods, which is just simply too much power. Now, sitting right above the engine, we did go ahead and install some 1450cc injectors, I think. These were about $1,200. I got them pretty decently priced. We have a 4 triple pump fuel system. I don't know if you guys can tell on the floor right there, but that is the billet fuel rail over there with the high pressure fuel pump adapter. So we have the 4 triple pump fuel system. We ran into so many fuel system issues. I had a sponsor reach out, and we were trying out their fuel system, and then after months and months of trying to make it work, I just got tired of it. Got sick of it, got sick of the person behind it, and just threw it all in the trash. Literally, I could find it somewhere. I think we threw everything away in the trash, spent $3,000 more and picked up a brand new 4 triple pump fuel system with the FC3 fuel controller. So like I mentioned before, we have the 4 triple pump fuel system. On the intake, we just have IMRC lockouts, so it's a stock intake. It's not ported or anything like that. We have the 4 triple pump with the bigger injectors. We are running 3 285 fuel pumps. So they're the Hellcat pumps, or the pumps that normally come in a Hellcat. That's why people call them the Hellcat pumps. They're like $180, maybe $200 on Amazon each. So we got 3 of those brand new with all the new filters and everything. It is a completely brand new fuel system. I did all of the plumbing and routing and wiring myself, and it's perfect. We haven't skipped a beat on that. We ran it for about a week until we just absolutely sent a rod into the moon. And I'm gonna credit the fuel system issues as the reason why my motor lasted so long, was because we could never push true 1,000 wheel horsepower. We were always leaning out. It caused a bunch of other issues. Moving on from the engine and the intake, like I said, I think we had the IMRC lockouts, 4 triple pumps, some bigger injectors. We have a UPR catch can. We have a built to 10 speed. We have a drive shaft. We have everything else, but let me go ahead and start with the D1X Pro Charger. Now, it's obviously not on the car anymore because I did trade it for the triple pump, not triple pump, I traded it for the twin turbos, but we had a massive Pro Charger sitting right here, and that was pulleyed down to like 19 pounds of boost. So we were pushing 19 pounds of boost through the stock engine, and that's where we were getting all of the power from. that's pretty much it. I can go into more detail in the comments if you guys want, but it was basically just a centrifugal supercharger pushing 19 pounds of boost, which is a lot. But the centrifugal superchargers, there's a lot of parasitic loss from the centrifugal superchargers, and that takes a toll on the engine as well, because you have to make more horsepower to spin it to make the power. So if you're at 1,000, you're realistically probably making like 1,100 to the crank, something like that, because of the parasitic loss. With the twin turbos though, that should put a lot less stress on the crank. It should put a lot less stress on the crank of the engine. Therefore, we could probably run a little bit more power, a little bit safer. We will see. I don't want this one to blow up quite yet. Some of you guys noticed we do have a tubular front end after my first accident. There's a video in the YouTube channel about it, but you can see it's shaved a little bit of weight, probably like 200 pounds total. A lot of stuff was removed, as you can see. It's pretty bare bones. Got the BMR K-member with the BMR motor mounts, and we have Keltrack suspension. I'll talk about suspension in just a second, but putting all that power down is a built 10R80. This is a Suncoast Stage 2 clutch kit with the extra upgraded clutches or whatever. I think it was like $2,000 for the clutches. I did get scammed and ended up paying like $3,000 plus on top of that to get them put in. So it was about $5,000 for a built Stage 2 10R80, which is advertised at 1,300 wheel horsepower. So far, we haven't really had any issues. That is the stock converter over there, so we could turn that up a little bit more with the Procharger we were running, but now that we have twin turbos, we can sit on the trans brake, make a lot of boost, and that should be just fine, especially for daily driving, which is exactly what I want this car to be. I paired up with that built 10R80. We did go through a solid chromoly steel drive shaft right over there. We completely shattered it on the other end. This is from the Drive Shaft Shop, DSS. They make really good drive shafts. Unfortunately, this one just broke, probably due to age and how many hits we were doing, and it's chromoly, so it's pretty heavy. So for Mod Nationals, we were in a huge time crunch, and I managed to find like a $700 all aluminum DSS one-piece drive shaft. That's a tongue twister for you there. Though that is what is powering from the 10R80 to the drive shaft to the rear diff. It is a stock rear diff. We also switched those out from, I think it was 355s to 315 rear gears because of I wanted longer gears so the 10R80 could live a little bit longer. That kind of sacrifices a little bit of low end speed, I guess. It doesn't really matter if you're pushing boost, to be honest, in my opinion. But the 60 to 130 did improve by over half a second with the 315s. So, built 10R80, DSS one piece, drive shaft, aluminum. It is a lot lighter. It feels so much better. Right to the stock rear diff. Now I did just go through surgery, so I can't really bend down to show you guys the car, but I can show you guys right here. These are massive Mickey Thompson ET Street R's 315s. We have Steeda springs in the rear. We have the Steeda springs in the rear so we can fit these massive tires. As you can see, there's a big gap, so we need that spring spacer to fit 315 50 17s on the back of this Mustang. This is quite a big tire, but I don't want to hook, and I didn't want to spend a bunch of money on suspension, so we just got bigger tires, and it works flawlessly. I guess now we can talk about suspension. I've gone through a couple of suspension revisions, but this one I feel like is the exact perfect one that I need. On the rear, we have, like I said, stock diff. All of the bushings have been replaced with, reinforced with the bushing reinforcement kit from Steeda. We have the Steeda Stop the Hop kit. We have Steeda rear drag springs, which do have a Steeda drag spring spacer, so we can fit those massive tires. And so we can power those tires. I forgot we have the G-Force, Ford Performance 2K HP rated drive shaft, drive axles. There's a lot of words there, but the axles, okay? Bro, I can't believe I just did that. We have the axles, they're 2K wheel rated. I've done dig after dig after dig, and these things will not break so far, so really lucky on that. They are very expensive. And that's pretty much all of the suspension in the rear. We are running the stock struts, which I should probably change out with the Viking ones from Keltrack. So I should probably do that, but so far we're not really running into any issues. We're not really running into any issues down there. Now I did kind of splurge a little bit here, but we have the Keltrack Kelly Special front long travel drag / street, I think. Front struts. I needed these because every time I would floor it, my wheels would go whoop, and I would almost pull a wheelie on the street. Since we are also fitting a massive tire up front, I think it's a 17-inch, and I usually, that's pretty tall. The suspension that I had in the front was not working. For 60 to 130s, we would spin immediately off the hit. Every time we launched, the car would bounce up and down, and a lot of that power would get like not transferred to where we wanted it to be. So I switched it out. We hit up Keltrack. I hit up Kelly Aiken from Keltrack, and he literally spec'd it, got them exactly perfect to what I needed them to, and then sent them already preset with everything marked. So it literally took me like about an hour, and we got the entire front setup suspension switched. I got in the car, I did a 60-130, I hooked, and we hit a new PR the very first time we went out with that new front suspension. I took out 200 pounds of sand that I had in the back because my car is really heavy on the front, if that makes sense. We took a lot of weight out of the rear, and so that suspension really helped. Once again, huge shout out to Keltrack for getting us exactly where we needed it to be and running absolutely perfect. That is the basic recipe to running low 9s in the quarter and high 3s in 60 to 130. It's literally just power, boost, suspension, and then start replacing everything stock until things don't break anymore. I have broken the 10-speed, I've broken the drive shaft. Luckily, I haven't broken any axles, but we do have stock ones we could try to break. And I've broken the front end, so we got the tubular front end. We've broken the suspension on the front because it just wasn't working, so we replaced that. We broke a rear diff before as well, so every single stock piece has been replaced in this car. It is quite expensive. I'm not too proud of how much I've spent on this car, but luckily through social media and sponsors and everything like that, we are able to keep this car running. So I figured I would make a YouTube video, just kind of show off everything that I have in the car, all of the parts, and I think now I'm gonna make a parts list just out of everything that I have. I think I have an Excel spreadsheet, so you can click it down below. It's just a Google Excel document or whatever, Google Docs, and it shows you every single part with a link and the price that I paid for them. So if you're able to find these things on deals on Marketplace all the time, I highly recommend it. There's a lot of deals out there, and that's pretty much everything that I've put into the car so far. If you guys like this and you want to see how much I've spent on version 2, the twin turbo kit setup, let me know. There are lots and lots of little parts that I have purchased for the twin turbo setup. Supercharger setup was pretty easy. It's just intercooler, pulleys, crank support, boost, tune it. Okay, that was pretty simple, but everything else for the twin turbo kit is it's starting to add up. I think I've spent $2,000 to $3,000 on top of trading the kit. So we got the entire full kit, and I've spent another $2 to $3 grand on top of it. I think we're $9 grand deep into this entire kit. Once it's finished up, it's gonna be custom fabbed and everything. I'll of course make a video about that, but I just wanted to show you guys the current state of the car and how much I spent for it. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know down in the comments below. If you liked the video, go ahead and give it a like. I would really appreciate it, and if you made it this far, I can't thank you enough. You guys are helping my watch hours go up, my retention go up, and helping motivate me to make more videos like this, especially the longer form YouTube, so I can actually show off my car. And I know when I was younger, I would want a video like this of my favorite creator. So if you guys want anything else, let me know. I think I'll do an interior and cosmetics video next, because I have spent, whoa, say it, don't spray it. I have spent a ridiculous amount on interior stuff as well. Because this car, I want it to be absolutely perfect. It's my dream car, and it's ridiculously fast. And now, all I want to do is just get back in it and drive it. That's it. Anyways, I really do appreciate every single person for watching. Go ahead and leave a comment, like, subscribe. I'll catch y'all later. Peace out.